Hello! To those of you who have never seen one of my videos before, I'm AmazzonKane. I'm a writer, I'm obsessed with Anaconda, I do rewatch videos, such as this one, and my ultimate goal is to run an official reboot of the series. You can even see what that would look like on my channel, as I organized a small team to revamp the theme song. This week's episode is Family Tree. Here we go.
Today, Mrs. Brinks is torturing us, on account of she is forcing us to watch a slideshow of her life from before there was color.
Mrs. Brinks needs some friends her own age.
The day they unveiled the statue of Miss Nettie, the cow that saved Tapwater Springs. Oh, and that's me pretending to milk the statue of Miss Nettie. And that's Grandpappy Brinks, who sculpted the statue in honor of the bravest bovine that ever grazed on 4 legs.
Anyone who knows anything in Tapwater Springs knows all about Miss Nettie, on account of if it weren't for her,
This is probably the only thing Mrs. Brinks has ever achieved.
Legend has it that Miss Nettie ran through town warning everybody about a fire that started in her barn.
Oh, hey, Spangly Jangles.
Before it could destroy the town, and Miss Nettie was a hero.
How on earth did that get in there?
Wow, Mrs. Brinks was a nudist even when she was a baby.
Now that you all know about my family
I still think she
tree,
wanted the class to
what
see that
about
regardless.
Each of you is to research your family history and report back on how your ancestors helped shape Tapwater Springs.
But I just moved here last year.
Exactly, that's a tough assignment if you haven't lived there forever.
More family history. I wonder how the Anaconda shaped Tapwater Springs history. Well, Angela, perhaps you should go to the zoo and find out. You can begin your research in the monkey house. Nanette Manoir will not make a monkey out of me. I will show her whose family has a better family history.
The stakes in this one. Also, I always thought Mark and Derek had bunk beds.
For a minute, I have a very important question to ask.
Hey, Derek, her royal painess has a question. What is it?
I have to find out how my family, which unfortunately is the same as your family, helped shape Tapwater Springs.
This is all we ever see them do.
Great-great-uncle Ebenezer Anaconda! He rocked! Get your
I
armpit
also-
out of my nose!
I like that this Anaconda last name
Great-great-uncle Ebenezer.
has been
He
passed
was the
down to the
record
family for
longest
generations.
movie ever hopped in the history of Tapwater Springs. 26 feet, 9 inches.
I think they're just trolling her right now.
Information that is totally useless.
Okay, you can put your armpit back in my nose.
Mark and Derek are a little too
Just
close
in
for
time to
comfort
see my
sometimes.
Special sculpture.
What's so special about a pile of boxes?
It's what's in the boxes that makes it special.
Aww, that's so cute.
So, what can we help you with?
I need to know how our family helped Tapwater Springs become Tapwater Springs.
That's easy. Your great-great-uncle Ebenezer Anaconda.
Don't we have any other famous person in our family who is famous?
Why don't you go and ask Grandma Lou? She knows all about the Anaconda family.
Grandma Lou is here?
Just until Sheriff Boone forgives her alligator Barney for eating the tires off his squad car.
Grandma Lou?
Grandma Lou definitely makes
There's
headlines
my
in
little
Florida.
griddle cakes. You're just in time to get a whiff of my world-famous Everglade gumbo goulash.
Grandma Lou, since you were born in the
A
olden
Florida
days, do you
woman.
know how the Anaconda family helped shape Tapwater Springs?
Well, there's your great-great-uncle Ebenezer who could...
Never mind. I guess there's nothing good about our family except for spitting.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just spit and ebb. And that miserable old cow, Miss Nettie.
Miss Nettie? So now, for the first time ever, I, Angela Anaconda, am excited to give a presentation, since I now know that my ancestors owned Miss Nettie, the cow that saved Tapwater Springs.
So without the Abadi family smarts, there'd be no extra spicy pizza sauce in all of Tapwater Springs today.
God damn it, Johnny.
Now, with
What,
my
our 5-second
truly
rule?
an enlightening report is Nanette Manoir.
Nanette Manoir, the only good thing the Manoirs ever did for Tapwater Springs was go on vacation.
Thank you, Mrs. Brinks. I'd just like to begin by humbly stating that without the Manoir family, none of you would be here today. For it was my great auntie Beatrice Manoir of the Paris Manoirs who owned Miss Nettie, the cow that saved Tapwater Springs.
Uh-oh, conflicting history.
But...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and thanks to Miss Nettie, I got a bike because the drugstore, which became a diner, then a bookstore, then a bike shop, didn't burn down. Thanks, Nanette.
I can't believe this, Gina Lash. How could would Nanette Manure say she is related to the owners of Miss Nettie when it is me who is truly related to the owners of Miss Nettie?
Same ancestor?
This is just a bunch of vache pate, Angela Anaconda, which is French for cow pies. You're just jealous. So typical of you, Angela, yet so sad.
I am going
And yet
to prove
kind of
Miss Nettie
accurate.
was my family's cow, even if it kills me.
And how are you going to do that?
By getting you to help me.
Ha! Suck it, Gina.
How much longer do we have to be here? Uncle Nicky says that books can suck out all your coolness.
Angela!
Uncle Nicky's an
found a
idiot.
clue. It says right here that there is only one known photograph of Miss Nettie, and it's on page 7. Wait a minute, there is no page 7. Where's page 7?
Well, fucking hell, Johnny.
Buddy, that was page 7. Oops. Hey, wait a
Come
minute.
on.
I remember seeing a picture of a cow in one of the photo albums in my attic. Maybe that's a photo of Miss Nettie.
Ooh, background.
What is it, Angela? Did you find a picture of the cow?
No, but I did find my retainer, which was missing on account of I lost it in a place I couldn't remember.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Look at this picture of Angela Anaconda. She's dressed up in funny clothes and pulling a cow.
That's not me, Johnny Abadi. On account of it is my great Aunt Angela. Hey, this is the proof I was looking for to prove my ancestors owned Miss Nettie. Good work, Johnny Abadi.
But Angela,
So
how can we be
similar,
sure
they use
that
the same
this is
face
Miss
model.
Nettie? It could be any cow.
Well, I know one way to find out. See? It's a perfect match. This is definitely a picture of Miss Nettie, which proves that I, Angela Anaconda, am the true descendant of the owner of Miss Nettie, the cow that saved Tapwater Springs.
Poor Gordy trying to get his face in there.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Angela Anaconda of the Anaconda family that did not own Miss Nettie.
Nanette Manwar, I will prove without a doubt that you are wrong on account of I am right.
Thank you so much for finding the other half of my photograph. I do believe this proves once and for all that Miss Nettie was and will always be a Manwar.
But then why is Angela's Aunt Angela in the picture?
Simple. The Anacondas were our milkmaids. Speaking of which, I seem to
Uh-oh.
have forgotten a beverage to go with my pizza. Oh, Angela, would you be a doll and run and fetch me some milk?
Oh, so Nanette Manwar thinks she can boss me around like I am her farmhand, does she? Well, I will show her about life on the farm.
All right, farm vengeance.
Oh, Nanette Man Cow Pie, since you are such an expert on cows, why don't you go
They use
fetch
the
me
older
some
dress
fresh
design
milk?
too. Whoa, Miss Nettie's
Oh,
little
Nicky
into that.
Poo, I will say, you are all wet. Perhaps a change of clothes will help. Something more suited to life on the farm.
Aw, she actually looks adorable there.
Oh, maybe red is not such a good color on you after all. How thoughtful of you, Nanette Manure. Go into the hen house and collect some eggs.
Aw, don't subject those innocent chickens to that.
I prefer my eggs sunny side up. Why, Ninny Wart, this is no time to be taking a mud bath. Besides, you don't want to be late for the rodeo. Today, you will be riding your old friend Hurricane Nanette. Although you won't be
Needs
riding
more
her
violence.
for long on account of she doesn't seem to recognize you. Oh, Angela, who is the true descendant of the owners of Miss Nettie and not I? Please do not let me land on the hard ground. You will scream from a
Breaking
million
everything.
miles up in the air. And since I am such a nice person, I will help cushion your fall with this nice, soft cow pie.
Yeah, they probably couldn't show an actual turd on TV. But the visual metaphor stays.
Pansy. I didn't want to leave without saying goodbye. I'm heading back down to Everglades City. Well, I'll be a sweating swamp rat. You found the other pieces of my picture.
Your picture?
Yeah, I've been looking for that for years. Ha! You like them gala scales?
Hey, look at this. There's something we didn't see before.
All I see is Miss Nettie's back leg and a lantern beside it.
Exactly. And look at the date the picture was taken.
1901.
February 11th, 1901.
Yep, that's the day the Great Fire started.
That means that this photo was taken right before my heroic heifer jumped into action and ran through the streets of Tapwater Springs.
Or she caused it.
Right before Miss Nettie kicked over this lantern and started the Great Fire of Tapwater Springs.
Nanette causes nothing but trouble.
I knew that cow was nothing but trouble.
Boy, I sure am glad I'm not related to anyone who owned a cow that started the Great Fire. Like someone whose name I will not mention, Nanette Manoir.
Your whole family is a sham. Deal with it.
Did I mention that my great-great-uncle Ebenezer Anaconda hawked the farthest loogie in the history of Tapwater Springs history?
Still not something to be proud of.
But, yep, 26 feet, 9 inches.
Man, revenge is underrated. That felt awesome.
I feel like that could sum up the show. This episode's okay. Could be punched up. I do like the idea. Definitely a irrational treasure or Coco kind of idea, finding out something unsavory about your family only to find out something you didn't know, a different piece of the story. Oh, Simpsons did something like this too, with Jebediah Springfield and how the town got founded. This one feels like, while I definitely love Angela and Nanette competing over family histories, I feel like the cow kicking over the lantern, even then, I feel like was a cliche, and I think more could have been done with it. I like the idea that the cow started the fire, because the Manoirs caused nothing but trouble. I do like that implication. I feel like the jokes could have been a little funnier. I think some of the references could have been more specific. I do love Grandma Lou in there. She's fun. I definitely love all the trouble, most likely legal trouble, that she gets into. And she's a fun character. I do like her. She has a rebellious streak, and Angela probably gets some of her spirit from Grandma Lou. She has a laid-back demeanor she most likely gets from her dad, and she definitely gets her anger, frustration, and angst from her mom. Not too much to say. Could have been punched up. I like the idea of learning more about this town. That's always fun. How would it have been for people who just moved into this town? Like, yeah, I kind of want to know, how did Carlene bullshit this project? I think that could have been a funny joke, maybe, to come back to the end. It was, Revenge Fantasy could have been a little more violent, and one thing I will say is that a lot of the resolutions, I think Angela could be a little more active in some of the solutions, and I do notice this consistently. A lot of times, the solution luck just happens to work in her favor, and she outright wins, and I'd like her to be more proactive, making some small decisions. I think one thing that could have been done here, for example, is, say, I don't think you could have done this in a kid's show specifically, but something like Nanette claims that she's descended from royalty, but then Angela does a little bit of research and finds out, well, royals were inbred, so wear your webbed feet, Nanette. Something like that. Yeah. Again, Angela and Nanette competing for attention. I like the ideas. I say this a lot. There are fun ideas here. I like the idea of learning about the town. I think it's fun to see the Manoirs have always been trouble, and it clearly runs in the family. The facial expressions are fun. I like some of the black and white. I think it really works well, the flashback to the town story. And I guess this is not a very old town. Makes sense why they're doing this project. Anyways, I know my thoughts are a bit all over the place, and I know that they get repetitive sometimes, like how Angela speaks, but that's part of the charm of the show. Anyways, fun ideas. Always fun seeing some vengeance. Definitely notice some patterns in storytelling. I've seen this kind of story before, and I don't mind it. I think it's a fun story because you can learn so much about characters. I do always like learning about the town. It helps with world building. It could also be taken a step further. So, thoughts for this week. See you later when you see me. I'm not going to sign off the same way every time. I just don't always know how to end these. See you next week.